CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, the St. Louis Cardinals against the Philadelphia Eagles.
An important game in the NFC East, and they all are, because this is the tightest division in the entire National Football League. One game separates all 5 teams. The Eagles, with a win, would like a share of the lead, and the Cardinals would like to take over undisputed possession of first place today. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, along with Hank Stram. Both teams have won 3 in a row. They're doing well and flying high, but one of those high-flying birds will be shot out of the sky this afternoon. How do you look at the game, Hank?
Dick, both teams have proven that they can stand adversity. Now it's going to be important to see which of the 2 teams can stand a little prosperity. And I think it'll be a little bit more difficult for the St. Louis Cardinals because they've won 3 big games against 3 very good teams, and it's going to be very important for them to be able to maintain that same high emotional intensity level and a performance level that they've been used to the last 3 weeks. That's the big test for them.
And, Hank, they've been doing it with the big play on offense so far this year.
They have been, but I think they have to change their personality a little bit this afternoon because the last 3 teams they played a lot of man-for-man defense, and it's conducive to a big play kind of offense. The Eagles, on the other hand, use a lot of zone defenses. They have to travel slow, they have to be patient, and they have to run the ball, I think, more than they have in the past, and run it successfully. They have 2 great running backs in Otis Anderson and Stump Mitchell, and they have to get a lot of business this afternoon.
Well, Hank, if the Cardinals have to be patient today, do you think the same thing applies to the Eagles?
No, the Eagles are just the opposite. I think the only chance the Eagles have of winning this game this afternoon is for them to throw the ball successfully. They do it remarkably well. They have a great quarterback in Ron Jaworski, and also a lightning guy in Mike Quick, both of whom are terrific players and capable of making the big plays, but they have to throw the ball to win this afternoon.
Second down, 3rd down and 26 now. Big loss on the play. And you may see the Cardinals coming again. Jaworski getting rid of it in a hurry, going deep for Hoover, and he makes the catch. Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. In motion, Spagnola. Quick pass, touchdown, Vito Cav. Reception of the year for Vito Cav, but 2 of them have been for touchdowns. And it's 6-0. Paul McFadden, who hasn't missed, will try the conversion.
That was really a good call, a play-action pass by Teddy Marchibroda.
With Jaworski holding, the kick is good, and it's 7-0 Eagles next week. 2nd down and 9 at the 11. Byron Darby replaces Drake Brown, who came off on his own power. Cardinals trail, and here's Otis Anderson cutting inside, and Anderson, close to the goal line, is stopped short at about the 1-yard line by Ray Ellis. Almost a touchdown for O.J.
Great illustration of good vision. It was a counter play. Anderson, watch, takes a step to his right. The right guard and the right tackle pull. He's supposed to be going outside. Watch this, though. He sees him cave the defensive end out. He sees the cavity, covers up the football, and goes right up the middle for as much yardage as he possibly can, and takes the ball right down to about the 1-yard line. Really a great run by Otis Anderson.
That's what he's done so far. He's already carried 8 times, goes out of the ball game. 1st and goal at the 1. Randy Love and Stump Mitchell. In motion, Earl Farrell. And it's Stump Mitchell over for the touchdown. And the Cardinals come back, and it's a 7-6 ball game. And for Mitchell, that is his 7th touchdown rushing of the year. He has 7 touchdowns on the ground. The Eagles as a team have only 2 touchdowns rushing. Jaworski, deep drop back to the goal line, and he's going to go outside to Mike Quick. Down the sideline, may beat everyone. And he will.
That's what we're talking about, and that's what he sees so well.
Ball at the 47-yard line of Philadelphia. Stump Mitchell replaces Anderson. Play action, Lomax stepping up. And he finds Ferrell, who makes a good play. And Earl Ferrell, charging, is close to a first down, shy by a yard.
It's number 15.
Second down and 1. Good situation here for a quarterback. Going to keep it on the ground to Stump Mitchell. Mitchell breaking outside. First down and out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. And he got a good block by the man who caught the ball on the previous play. With 8:46 to go in the first half. Roy Green in motion. Pass is caught by Marsh, the tight end. Another first down to the 15-yard line. Ray Ellis brings Marsh down. And now they have to separate Ray Ellis from Doug Marsh, who thought Ray was a little bit over-anxious on the play. Interesting about the field goal situation for him.
Yeah, he's 13 to 23 inside the 40, and outside the 40, 13 to 25. I think that what happens a lot of the times with kickers with good legs, when they get in there close, they don't kick this with the same stroke. They try to aim the ball and try to punch it through there, whereas when there's a long field goal, they really attack the ball and get a lot into it. I think O'Donohue has a tendency to try to chip the ball through there. He does not follow through real well and takes a quick look, and I think that's why he's had trouble kicking the ball in close, plus the fact that I don't think many people realize the head is the heaviest part of the body, and if you move the head, everything moves and it takes you off stride.
Tom Struthers walks off. He's the third Eagle defensive end to be shaken up today. Harrison and Brown since returned to the game after they were injured. Perrin will hold, 28-yard attempt. O'Donohue won last week's game over the Redskins with a 21-yarder with 3 seconds remaining. And this kick is good, and O'Donohue. Kick is good, and it's a 14-10 ball game, and so Neal is now 12 for 20 on the season, and the Cardinals come away with something. Has caused 2 fumbles today. First down, Lomax going for Roy Green, who makes a diving play, complete inside the 10-yard line. He got away from the defender, fouls.
Yeah, I think they have to do more of that, Dick. We've talked about it quite a bit, but Fowles is playing very, very soft, meaning he's deep, about 10, 12 yards deep, and you should be able to throw the ball in front. There's good protection. The offensive line doing a great job, and look at how far out in front of Albert Fowles he is. He makes the catch and finally got hit, but it's a big gain for Green, Roy Green, number 81.
He keeps chalking up those yards, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Lomax is 6 for 6 on first down passing attempts. Here comes another one. First and goal at the 8. Running around out there. He's got some time. He fires to Tilley. Touchdown, St. Louis. Tilley had to do a high wire balancing act right at the end of the end zone. He beat Albert Fowles finally, and the Cardinals have taken the lead.
But there again, that was the same play they threw a little earlier. A dash play from play action. Dash meaning he rolls to his left. He hit Doug Marsh the last time, and it was called back this time. He has plenty of time, plenty of room. Finally spots Pat Tilley open in the end zone. Touchdown, St. Louis Cardinals.
So both passers are hot so far, and with Perrin holding, O'Donohue, who just kicked a field goal moments ago, now kicks the conversion to give the Cardinals a 17-14 lead. And of course it was set up on that Wilbert Montgomery fumble, and Pat Tilley on the receiving end, his 4th touchdown reception of the year. Jaworski intercepted. Lionel Washington stepped out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So another turnover gives the Cardinals another opportunity. Montgomery fumbled last time. Washington picks this off with 3:05 to go. Harrell and Mitchell also in the shotgun formation. Lomax going up on top for Pat Tilley, and the ball is intercepted by the Eagle. Wes Hopkins. And he's out of bounds at the 37-yard line. They get it back on an interception. Jaworski loops it, intercepted by Benny Perrin, and a touchback. And the boos from the crowd at Veterans Stadium, and Mike Wick was the intended receiver. Now everyone will say that they've caught 5 so far for 58 yards. First and 10 now for the Cardinals at the Eagle 42-yard line. Going back deep is Lomax and drills this to Pat Tilley, and a first down at the 25-yard line. Herman Edwards makes the play.
Boy, the ball was right on the money that time. Pat Tilley, he does a great job of getting as close to the defensive back as he possibly can. Look at, he fakes to the ball carrier, turns back to the left side, and watch Tilley come back for the ball. Licks Herman Edwards, number 46. But he gets very close to the defensive back before he makes his move. He turns him as well as anybody in professional football.
Tilley with 33 receptions on the year. He had 44 last year, and we're only about halfway through the season. First and 10 at the 24-yard line. 9:45 to go in the third quarter. Cardinals driving. Lomax going up on top. Wide open is Marsh for the touchdown. Wide open, Doug Marsh. A touchdown for the Cardinals.
There had to be a mix-up on the play. It looked like a linebacker had coverage on it. Anthony Griggs stood there with his hands on his hips thinking that maybe somebody else, a play-action fake, and he goes right back down to seam. Seam being the area between the center fielder and the cornerback. Look at that. Anthony Griggs, number 58, in disgust, not knowing really. I don't know whether he had coverage or whether somebody else was supposed to pick him up. But anyway, they blew coverage, and Marsh makes the touchdown.
Now O'Donohue in to try the conversion. Benny Perrin is holding with 9:38. High snap, but the kick is good, and it's now a 24-14 game in favor of the Cardinals for Marsh, his 4th touchdown reception of the year.
Watch Marsh, number 80, comes off the line of scrimmage, goes right by one linebacker, and Griggs, I think, was supposed to cover him man for man. It came off of him, and he goes right down behind him in for the touchdown. The ball is thrown beautifully, and touchdown, St. Louis Cardinals.
Jaworski going in a crowd, and the ball is intercepted by Wayne Smith of St. Louis. That'll be the 3rd interception of the ball game by the Cardinals, and the first for Wayne Smith. Tony Woodruff was the intended receiver, and for Wayne Smith, his yards. Cedric Mack goes to the top of your picture. Lomax. Pass to Marsh. He's got it to the 45. He's in Eagle territory, and Hopkins drives him out of bounds at the 34-yard line. A gain of 45 yards. And once again, Hank Stram, you pointed out before, Lomax is getting terrific protection.
Yes, he is, and it looked like he licked the linebacker, Jerry Robinson, that time, number 56. They had a blitz on. Number 58 was blitzing on the play, Griggs. Robinson is trying to cover the tight end, does not do it, and for that reason, Marsh is able to scoot down the field and take the ball down to about the plus 35. Really beautiful execution on the part of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Has given them the chance to keep the ball. It is 2nd down and 10 at the 35-yard line. And here is Earl Farrell, puts on a good move, and Farrell still going, breaks a couple of tackles, and Farrell can't be brought down until he's inside the 10 by Edwards, and a first down, St. Louis. 27-yard pickup, and they couldn't get him. Trying to break it open, leading 24-14. Here is Stump Mitchell. Jerry Robinson got a hold of him. He's not in the end zone, although he tried like heck to get in there, but is inside the 5.
I don't know how he squirted through that pile and almost got through the other end, but he came very, very close. And the ball's right now on about the 1-yard line. Great run, really, by Stump Mitchell.
He has already scored a touchdown today, his 7th rushing of the season. That's pretty good for a guy who fills in.
Well, we touched on it earlier, but he could be a regular for anybody in the league, really. There's a good shot of it again. Bostic, the right guard, pulling on the play. He's stuck on the outside, decides to go inside. Look at him fight for that yardage. Look at him drag 2 tacklers with him, one of whom was Jerry Robinson.
Mitchell and Love on the back. Farrell on the wing. Here is Stump Mitchell, and he is in for the touchdown. His 2nd of the game, number 8 on the year. And Hannafin's got to be breathing easier now. 10:28 to go, a lot of time, but now it is a 30-14 ball game.
This is the kind of game you really worry about, talking about St. Louis, because you won 3 big games against name people with good records, and all of a sudden you're afraid maybe that you're going to have a letdown. But I think it's a great credit to the coaching staff of the St. Louis Cardinals that they haven't had a letdown, and they played very, very well here this afternoon. Very intelligent game plan, very good approach, and they executed it extremely well.
O'Donohue with Benny Perrin holding. And Neil O'Donohue's kick is good, and so the St. Louis Cardinals score. And how do they feel up in the booth next to us? Messrs. Thomas, Dowhauer, Bettis, and closest to you, Larry Wilson. Here's what happened when Mitchell went over for the touchdown. Yeah, sit back, guys. You've got a 31-14 lead, 24 unanswered points.
The slot formation here, same situation, but they got Perrin over here trying to help out. I'm sure if he does that.
Jaworski is sacked. Curtis Greer, number 4 of the game for the St. Louis Cardinals, who, by the way, led the league with 59 last year. They had only 20 coming into this game, but it looks like they're picking up their sack production lately.
Yeah, they are. And Randy Holloway got some pretty good penetration that time, too, number 74, who they just got from the Minnesota Vikings.
Right. Swing pass as good as a run out to Otis Anderson, and Anderson's going to get a first down and more. To the 25-yard line, Herman Edwards makes the tackle. Anderson has had a good all-around game today.
Yeah, he really has. And, of course, the other thing is so important, I think Neil Lomax has thrown the ball so well to the back. So he has to throw the ball about number high and about 1.5 yards out in front. So the back doesn't have to change stride or direction, just catches it right on the run, runs right into the ball and continues on his course downfield. That ball was just thrown perfectly. You couldn't lay it on the shelf any better than that. And this is what Lomax has been doing so well, throwing the ball to the backs in this game.
Hank, would it be fair to ask you at this point, having seen the Cardinals and on their way to a 6-3 record, is how far do you think they can go the rest of the way?
Well, I think if they can stay healthy, I think that's the key. If they can stay healthy and play like they're playing, and I think they will, I think they've got as much of a chance to win it as anybody in the division, because they're well balanced, they're playing well defensively, they're throwing the ball, they're running the ball, they're capable of big plays. They've got it all if they just continue to play like they are, and I think they've got a great attitude, and that's the important thing. Talking to the players yesterday, talking to Neil Lomax, and talking to the coaches and Hannafin, everybody, I think they got their feet in the fire, and they understand what they have to do. They understand they've got a great opportunity, and I think they're going to do everything they possibly can to maintain the good position they're in right now.
That was an incomplete pass, and of course O'Donohue is in now to try for a field goal. The Cardinals, you mentioned at the outset, Hank, they have not only beaten 3 teams, they have beaten 3 strong ball clubs in the Cowboys, the Bears, and the Redskins. Trying to make it over the Eagles now. A 42-yard field goal attempt by O'Donohue. He's kicked 5 from 44 or more this year. Movement in the line and a flag down. Neil O'Donohue, who has been successful on a 28-yard field goal today. Here's Mark Bright, the referee.
False start, offense, 4th down again.
I think the other thing that's very impressive about St. Louis, I think if you're not careful, you know, when you win 3 big games like they have, why, if you're not careful, especially with a young team, you have a tendency to kind of walk the dog a little bit and think it's going to be easy. And you don't maintain that same high level of intensity and enthusiasm. You think it's going to be easy the next week, but they didn't do that.
No.
That's a great sign of maturity and development, and that's going to be a big factor as they go along.
You're right. That was one of the concerns the Cardinal people had. This is a 47-yard attempt, and the kick is up. It is good. So, as you pointed out, Neil O'Donohue has had seemingly greater success from the longer distances than the closer ones. And this is his 6th field goal of the year from beyond 44 yards. A 47-yard field goal, and it's now 34-14 in favor of St. Louis. I don't think O'Donohue could face any tougher pressure than he did in the game last week. Touchdowns to win the ball game. Jaworski can't get away. Back to midfield. That's the 5th sack of the game by the St. Louis defense.
That's really been the big difference. I think Jaworski has had a lot of pressure put on him. On the other hand, conversely, why Neil Lomax hasn't. But, of course, at this stage of the game, you know, you're going to get a severe rush because they got nothing to worry about except the pass, and you can expect some sacks at this stage of the game with 3 minutes and 19 seconds left.
The firm of Galloway and Holloway made that play. Second down and 20.
You better tell them about that connection. They'll have to go in business.
That's right. Well, Randy just came aboard. He likes the club. Under 3 minutes to play. Jaworski will go down for a 6th time. Curtis Greer and Randy Holloway. And even Ramsey Darter. Redskins and Giants coming up next for some of you. Rams and 49ers for others. Haddix has the ball, and that'll do it. The ball game is over. And the Cardinals have defeated the Eagles 34-14, getting 6 sacks and doing a lot on offense.